Hello, everyone, and good morning. We are super excited to have you all participating in Keela's 3-day virtual conference that we're calling Plugged In. With everything that's been going on, including the cancellation of events like N10's NTC or the AFP Icon conferences, and with the practice of social distancing and isolation, we know that things can get are a little bit crazy right now. But that doesn't mean that you should lose track of your organization's mission. The work of nonprofits is as important as ever right now, and that's why we're putting together a free digital conference focusing on nonprofit technology and transformation that will hopefully help you stay connected from anywhere and to unplug you from everything else that's been going on right now. And with that, for the next 3 mornings, N10's Board of Directors, Meico Whitlock from Mindful Techie and Ananda Leeke from Ananda Leeke Consulting will give you a chance to unplug and guide you through a session on mindfulness and meditation. And with that, I'd like to give a very warm and special welcome to Meico, who will be leading today's session this morning.
Well, thank you for that, and I'm excited to be here this morning. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen if that's okay. All right. So if you can hear me and you can see me okay, go ahead and type yes into the chat and we'll go ahead and get started. But if you can hear me and see me okay, go ahead and type yes into the chat so we can see. All right. So I see you all, Chris, Lindsay, David. All right, awesome. So folks are able to see me and hear me. So let me know also in the chat as we do this opening, what is this your first experience with mindfulness? Let me know if this is your first experience. And let me know, what does mindfulness mean to you? And as you all are doing that in the chat, I will give us a little bit of an overview of what we're going to walk through today. So we're going to have about a half hour together. And during this time that we have together, we're going to talk a little bit about what is meditation, what is mindfulness, and then we're going to do a little bit of a practice. And then we're going to leave a little bit of time at the end for a little bit of Q&A and reflection. So if folks have questions or thoughts or concerns, I'm happy to address those as you leave today's session. But again, let me know if this is your first experience with mindfulness and what does mindfulness mean to you? So as I'm looking through the chat, it looks like we have quite a few folks for whom this is the first experience. And I see Lindsay says this is her first experience. David sharing that he has practiced mindful eating. And for Aaron, this is their first experience. Lindsay says she's not quite sure what to expect. All right, awesome. So we have lots of different levels and where people are. Okay, so it looks like some people, Norm is familiar. All right, Kelly is familiar as well. Well, awesome. Well, I welcome you all to today's session. Again, we're going to talk a little bit about what mindfulness is, about what meditation is. We're going to do a short practice, and then at the end, we're going to leave some space for us to actually have a brief discussion about what we've experienced and any reflections that you would like to share as you begin the rest of your day. So a little bit about me. So I am Meico Whitlock. As was mentioned at the top of the call, I'm on the board of directors for N10. And the work that I do with my organization, Mindful Techie, is I am dedicated to helping change makers break free from tech and work-life overload so that they can do their best work and live their best lives. And so the work that we're going to be doing today around meditation, around mindfulness, is squarely in alignment with that. And it's more important than ever, and particularly in the time that we're living in. And so if folks can see the screen, let me know, does this resonate with folks? So folks have any connection to what's on the screen? So it talks about essentially the cycle where before we heard so much about the pandemic and coronavirus, we thought life was good, everything was going well. We had so many events and so many things planned. And then it sort of snuck up on us. And then we weren't sure what to think of it. Things got serious, things got canceled. And then now we're sort of on the other side of this where we're saying, okay, well, we're still here, not quite sure what to do. We're still here, but we're in this together. Let's figure out how we can get through this. Anyone relate to this? All right, so I see some folks in the chat saying yes. All right, awesome. So this describes the experience for a lot of folks over the last week or so. And so my hope is that what we're going to practice today and the discussion that we're going to have today would be somewhat useful as a tool for you to take to be able to more effectively navigate the experience that we're having, but also beyond this experience, to be able to take this as a tool that you use to navigate your day-to-day life. So what is mindfulness? So some of you answer this in the chat a little bit. If you still want to chime in, feel free to put your thoughts into the chat. I want to talk a little bit about what mindfulness is and what mindfulness isn't. And one of the things that I like to use as a part of the discussion is this particular graphic on the screen. And so it's a graphic that simply talks about a person in a dog park or in a park with their dog, and you see two different thought bubbles, right? So on the left-hand side, you see a person sort of standing there in this park. The sun is shining, the air is clean, the trees are out there, and they have all of these thoughts that are in their head that they're sort of dealing with, right? And then on the right-hand side, you see the dog, and the dog is just sort of seeing and being present with what's there in the moment. And I'm seeing Kelly, she's sharing, they're sharing their definition of mindfulness, of what mindfulness means to them, which is all about staying focused and being in the present moment. And I would concur with that at its very basic level, being mindful is really about being present to what's happening in the present moment, and to be able to bring compassion and non-judgmental awareness to whatever's happening, right? So we might have many things that are going on in our mind, many things we might be experiencing in our world, both internally and externally, but it's really about being present to what's happening and also understanding whether we are actually reacting to what's coming up for us, whether or not we're actually responding to what's coming up, right? And so mindfulness isn't necessarily about the absence of challenge in our lives, isn't about the absence of things that pop up that throw us off or that stress us out. But mindfulness is really a tool to recognize that when those things actually pop up, we have an opportunity to understand and to acknowledge what it is, to release it, to let it go, and to navigate it from a place of being responsive as opposed to being reactive. And so today, what we're going to do is we're going to engage in a mindfulness exercise and meditation that is one form of mindfulness. There are many different types of mindfulness. And so we're going to practice one particular kind today. And I'm going to share with you from my own personal practice what has worked for me in some of the organizations and clients that I've worked with. I know that there are many ways to practice mindfulness, and that mindfulness doesn't belong to a particular culture or particular religion or spirituality. That mindfulness can be found, that quality of mindfulness is an innate part of who we are, and it can be found across cultures and across traditions. And so that is the approach, and that's the way in which we're going to be diving in today. So if this sounds good to you, give me a yes into the chat, and we'll go ahead and get started with our exercise and our practice today. But if this sounds good to you, go ahead and give me a yes. Let me know if you're all ready to rock and roll, and we'll get moving. All right, so I'm seeing a lot of excitement in the chat. I love it. Keep it coming. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to move, and I'm going to be guiding us through some exercises, and then we're going to have a discussion. So I'm going to invite you to just take a moment wherever you are in this moment. If you're in a place where it's safe and it's comfortable, I'm going to invite you to take a seat, perhaps in a chair, or if you want to lie down on the floor, if you are in a place where you're able to do that, that's perfectly okay. But choose a comfortable position where you're able to lie down or to take a seated position. And if it feels comfortable and if it feels safe for you, go ahead and I invite you to close your eyes and to take this opportunity to simply notice the relative stillness and quiet in this moment. And I invite you to expand your awareness of the stillness in this moment by taking an opportunity to notice the groundedness of the body. If you're seated, taking an opportunity to notice the contact points between the feet and the ground that's supporting the feet. If you're choosing to lie down, noticing the contact points between the body and the support that's beneath you in this moment. Noticing the space, if you can become aware of that in this moment. Taking an opportunity to notice the neck, and if there's any tenseness there, maybe this is an opportunity to release that if that's uncomfortable for you. Noticing the shoulders, making any adjustments if you need to, if there's tenseness there as well. And noticing and releasing any other points of tension in the body in this moment. And now I invite you to bring your awareness to the breath in the body. No need to change the breath, but simply notice its natural rhythm and cadence. You might notice it in the subtle rise or fall of the belly or the chest. Or perhaps it's noticeable for you through the in and out breath through the mouth or the nostrils. Just take this opportunity, I invite you to notice the breath in the body. And in these next few moments, I invite you to join me as I'll be guiding you and to do 3 deep intentional breaths, and I will guide you precisely through the entire process. And we'll be breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And we'll breathe in fully and deeply through the nose and out fully and deeply, exhaling like the roar of a lion. Just as pushing down on the diaphragm as much as you can to let all the air out. And so we're going to do 3 of those deep intentional breaths. And we're going to start here with the first breath. Breathing in with me right now, in through the nose, fully and deeply. And out through the mouth with the lion's roar. In one more time through the nose. And out through the mouth, fully and deeply with the lion's roar. Breathing in fully and deeply one more time, in through the nose. And out through the mouth. Allow the breath to return to normal. Bring your awareness to the body. If you're seated, just ensuring that you're upright and comfortable, feet firmly planted on the ground. If you're lying down, just ensuring that the body is still and comfortable against whatever surface is supporting you in this moment. And as the breath returns to its normal rhythm and cadence, I invite you to explore with me the body. We'll start with the feet. I invite you to take this opportunity to shift your attention to the feet, noticing the contact points between the feet and anything that is supporting them. Taking this opportunity to notice the toes, perhaps wiggling the toes a little bit if that feels comfortable, that feels right for you. If you're wearing shoes or socks, perhaps taking this opportunity to notice the sensations associated with the contact between the socks and the shoes and your feet. Just taking this opportunity to notice and appreciate the feet. Expanding your awareness to the ankles. Just noticing the ankles. Noticing any sensations. Perhaps there's a warmness, or maybe it's cold. Maybe there's tingling. Maybe there's nothing at all. Just taking an opportunity to notice the ankles. And then expanding your awareness to the shins. Noticing the shins. And further expanding to notice the calf muscles. Are they tight or loose or relaxed? Just taking an opportunity to notice. We're not changing anything. We're just taking an opportunity to notice. And know that if your mind wanders or your attention goes elsewhere, that's perfectly okay. Simply notice it and gently bring your attention back to the body. Expanding our awareness to the entire lower legs. Noticing any sensations that are arising for us. Noticing the knees, the front of the knees, the back of the knees, bringing your attention to the upper legs and the thighs. The inner thighs, the outer thighs. Expanding your attention all the way up to the pelvic area, the stomach, the abdomen, and the chest. Just taking an opportunity to notice how the body is feeling in these areas. Is there a temperature? Is it cold? Is it warm? tight or relaxed. Perhaps you feel the blood pulsing through the areas. Taking this opportunity to notice. Bringing your awareness to the upper chest. And the shoulders. Again, if your mind wanders, that's perfectly okay. Just take the opportunity to notice that perhaps you've gotten off course, that you're elsewhere, and gently bring your attention back to the body. From the shoulders, we will invite you to explore the neck, perhaps starting with the front and rotating clockwise around, just noticing the neck. Is there any tension? Is the neck relaxed? What sensations do you feel in the neck? Expanding your awareness down the upper arms and the elbows. Down the lower arms and the wrists. To the hands and the fingers. Perhaps taking this opportunity to gently wiggle the fingers, noticing that they're there, noticing any sensations. As we take our attention back up the lower arms, to the upper arms and to the shoulders. And expanding your awareness this time to the upper back. Making your way down the back to the mid back. Down the spine to the lower back. Just noticing the sensations as there tightness, is there relaxation, is there stiffness, is there some other sensation that you're sensing in this moment. From the lower back, we expand our awareness, going up the spine again, to the base of the neck. Making our way to the back of the head. And around to the ears. Up to the crown of the head, the very top. And down to the face. Noticing the eyes. the nose, the mouth. Taking note of any sensations that might be arising for you in this moment. And in this moment, as you're able to, as it feels comfortable, as it feels right, inviting you to bring your awareness to the entire body as one unit. Just taking this opportunity to take in the entire body. Notice any sensations that are arising. Just notice how the body is in this moment. Check in with the body. And gently bringing your attention back to the breath. Allowing the body to relax. And allowing the breath to sustain its natural rhythm and cadence. I invite you to consider this question as we close today's practice. What is your intention for how you would like to show up for today? What is your intention for how you would like to show up for today? What is your intention for how you would like to show up for today? As you rest in this relative stillness and quiet, I invite you at the sound of the chime, when you're ready, to open your eyes. If you chose to close your eyes. And if you need a few more moments after the bell rings, that's perfectly fine. Take as much time as you need. So I know that we are almost at time, but if we have a few moments to take any questions or comments, I am happy to answer any questions or address any comments. But let me know in the chat, how was this experience for you? And if you have any questions that I can answer for you. You are very welcome see folks are chiming in the chat. Yes, I'm glad you all love the closing bell. And yes, you're welcome, David. All right, so Chris has a really excellent question. So you're welcome to all of you. And so Chris asked a really interesting question. So Chris asked, how can I best maintain this mindfulness practice in the chaos of my day-to-day life? So this is a really good question. And one of the places I would invite you to start, Chris, is with micro practices. So many times when we think about mindfulness, we have the traditional notions of people who are stopping to engage in a formal practice like a long meditation session or a yoga session. And all of those things are perfectly wonderful. But there are simple things that you can do, such as just taking mindful or purposeful pauses throughout your day. And so one of the things that I do, I have a timer set 3 times throughout the day to just go off on my alarm on my phone to alert me to simply pause and to just check in with myself. And it really just takes about 30 seconds. And it's an opportunity for me to understand whether or not I am reacting or whether or not I am responding. It's an opportunity for me to also understand, am I hungry? Am I tired? Am I angry? Am I lonely? Sort of checking in with myself to see where I am and what I need to do to shift if I need to make a shift. And so practicing those things, even during those 1-minute micro pauses, builds up our practice to be able to recognize when we're off kilter and what we can do to simply pause and to bring ourselves back when we find ourselves in that place. So Chris, I would offer to you to, if you don't already have a practice, just start small. You can set a timer for a couple of times throughout your day to just check in with yourself. And over time, you can build up from there. And Ananda, who's my colleague, is going to be leading sessions on tomorrow morning and on Thursday morning. And she has a wealth of resources that she can share as well on how you actually do this and how you can actually build and sustain a practice. So you're very welcome, Chris. So I'm going to turn this over to our hosts for today and get their instructions, and then we will close out.
Thank you so much, Meico. That was absolutely wonderful. I feel so relaxed now. All right, everyone, that concludes today's meditation and mindful session. I hope you're feeling just as relaxed as I am right now. We're looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow at 8 a.m. PST or 11 a.m. EST, just as Meico just mentioned, for another meditation and mindfulness session with Ananda Leeke. And just a reminder that our next session today will start at 9 a.m. PST or 12 p.m. EST, so in about 25 minutes. This session will be led by Julia Campbell, Nick Byrne, Maureen Walbiff, and Lan Freytag, and they'll be speaking on the best kept secrets to getting and using Facebook fundraiser data. If you haven't already signed up for that, I'm just about to pop it in our chat box there. So feel free to sign up. And thanks again, everyone, and see you soon. I don't know if you had any last words, Meico, but it was a pleasure to have you.
Likewise, and I'm wishing everyone a wonderful day and wonderful week.
All right. Take care, everyone. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.